Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanson, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a great show for you guys, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. So, recently they announced the All-Star, the All-Star starters for both conferences. Not the All-Star starter, the players that are going to the All-Star game. I'm actually trying to see where I saw the starters. Okay, I got it here. This is actually from NBA.com. So we want to put it up for you now. We're just going to go through the Eastern Conference starters. We have Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jalen Brunson, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Karl Anthony Towns. And then the All-Star reserves are in the East: Jaylen Brown, Pascal Siakam, Darius Garland, Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, Damian Lillard, and Tyler Hero. If we head over to the Western Conference, this is where things are a little bit tricky. We have Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, SGA, LeBron James, Nikola Jokic, and then for the reserves, Anthony Edwards, Anthony Davis, James Harden, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Şengün, and Victor Wembanyama. So with that, they came some snubs, right? There's some notable guys that were left off the list, and this is exactly what they were discussing on a segment on ESPN yesterday, right? I think they were doing it during maybe a halftime show, some game that they were covering. So they had the panel there and they were discussing it, and then Kendrick Perkins decided to step forward and say, hey, look, I'm going to say what a lot of people are thinking, which is, I don't believe Stephen Curry should be a starter in an All-Star game. And it created this kind of back and forth on the panel. And a lot of people are like, wait, what? Did he just say Stephen Curry? So before we even get into what Kendrick Perkins had to say, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports with over 10 million members. Prize Picks makes it easy to get real money action on the sports and players you love. You pick more or less on at least 2 for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. For example, this week on Prize Picks, I'm looking at the upcoming NBA schedule and selecting Stephen Curry for more than 29 points and Kevin Durant for more than 27 points and Anthony Davis for more than 12 rebounds and Luka Doncic for more than 8 assists. If you're like me and you like to play it safe, you'll love Prize Picks' new feature, Flex Plays. It's the safest way to play. You can still cash out even if your lineup isn't perfect. Plus, you can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. On top of this, Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quick as in 15 minutes. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what we want to do now is we want to play what Perk had to say yesterday on ESPN First Take and why he took this bold position. And then we're going to come back and really give you guys our thoughts on that and then really expand the topic. So take a listen to what Kendrick Perkins had to say here.
I know that it's really hard to get, as you said, where he was voted by 3 other categories besides the fans. But isn't that what this game is about? If it's not about the fans, who is it about? It's about who they want to see.
Listen, right? When I look at a guy like Steph Curry making the All-Star game this season, and I look at a lot of guys like Kyrie Irving, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox, just in this conference who had better seasons than, or playing better than him. Look, I'm gonna say the quiet thing out loud. Steph Curry should not be an All-Star. He shouldn't. Guys are playing. You still look. No matter what the fans want, no matter what the coaches want, no matter what we want, who we want to see, this still you have to earn to be an All-Star by your production. And if you're looking at the production around the league, it's guys in the Western Conference that have better numbers than Steph, and their teams are in better positions than Steph. So, what? Am I lying?
the host of the All-Star.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you're trying to, first of all, we've got bigger fish to fry. We're trying to save the game and not just a player on a roster. And Steph Curry, the same way LeBron James, the same way Kevin Durant, the same way a number of these legends of the game are participating. You need him in this All-Star game. He's literally working with the commissioner to try to make sure everyone is available to play. I can hear your point. He's only averaging 22 points per game. His team is right now 24 and 23. There are cases, we're coming off the heels of talking about LaMelo, right? His team is 12 and 32. We also talk about how deep the West is. He is like their bright spot on Golden State.
So what? Here's the thing. So you're gonna punish other guys that are deserving because you're saying we have bigger fish to fry. So forget the goldfish.
No.
Because you weren't about the tuna.
No.
That's what you're telling me?
I don't think any of those guys in the West that got snubbed will look at Steph Curry starting and saying, man, I should have had his spot. I don't think so.
Listen,
part of it,
with him being in that spot,
50% of the starters were fan vote. Then it was media. Then it was players. So I'm sure he still got players' vote. He still got media's vote. But most importantly, Steph is one of the best when it comes to getting the fan vote. I can't agree with you.
I get it. And you don't have to. And we're not going to agree on this because, again, this comes down to production. And who's been producing.
It doesn't, though, because as Malika said,
it can't come down. It can't be nothing else.
About production,
what is
we wouldn't have the fans voting.
So hold on, time out. So making the All-Star game is not about production anymore?
No, it is. It is. But
Brian,
it's a mix.
What do you think of this?
If Steph wasn't in the game, it would be a disservice to the fans.
I agree.
And I know that was the point you just made, Malika. I would just say that on balance, while Perk is making an interesting argument, I think we have good all-star teams.
So you heard what Kendrick Perkins had to say there, right? So let's get through some notable snubs. You have Ja Morant. Now, I think one of the reasons people are going to hold Ja out is because of the games that he missed. Some people are going to say, well, Ja Morant didn't play enough games, so therefore he shouldn't be considered. But his teammate made it on the team as well. So Ja Morant, his team, he missed out, although he's averaging 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 7.5 assists. And if you look at his team in the Western Conference, his team is a third in the Western Conference. This season, how many games has Ja played? He's played 28 games, right? 28 games. His team is what? 33, 32, and 16. He's missed a good amount of games, but it's not like as if he hasn't played any games. Another notable snub, and one that a lot of people were kind of pushing for, was Norman Powell from the Clippers. And I actually read earlier this morning that after we found out that Norman Powell didn't make the team, James Harden, after he found out that Norman Powell didn't make the team, he ended up contacting him. So it was either going to be James Harden or Norman Powell. James Harden has the better numbers. I think he's averaging a double-double. So they ended up going with him. Another person that got snubbed from the team is Devin Booker. Now, Devin Booker, who's a great two guard. If you look at where the Suns are right now in the Western Conference, they're currently the 8th seed. So they're not like falling out of the standings, but he didn't make it as well. One can make an argument, how come Kevin Durant made it, but Devin Booker didn't make it, and they're on the same team. You have Trae Young. You have he's another one there that seemed a lot of people are talking about. You have LaMelo Ball from the Charlotte Hornets. He didn't make it as well, although his team isn't really good, and he's missed some games. And of course, we have Kyrie Irving, who didn't make it as well, but neither did Luka Doncic because he's been injured, in the Dallas Mavericks are the 9th seed in the Western Conference. So what are my thoughts about this? Let's talk about Kendrick Perkins' main point, which is the starters and Stephen Curry and these guys. Look, I think the reason is Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James started is because the NBA needs the ratings. These guys are their biggest draw. These 3 guys right here. So to have KD, LeBron, and Stephen Curry is a must, right? I think it has everything to do with the ratings. Obviously, it's going to be held in the city where Stephen Curry plays. You also have to have him on it, have him start as well. But I can understand Kendrick Perkins' point, right? It would have been nice to see some of the younger guys get some of those starting spots, but to their credit, they got one guy up there. But I think from a marketing standpoint, maybe you get Anthony Edwards, in the starting lineup. But hey, I could be wrong about that. Maybe you even get Victor Wembanyama in the starting lineup, just to kind of start marketing some of the new stars. In the Eastern Conference, it isn't really that controversial. I have no problem with Giannis. I have no problem with Jalen Brunson. I have no problem with Donovan Mitchell. I have no problem with Jason Tatum. And I have no problem with Karl Anthony Towns. I think they got that starting five right. Those teams out there in the Eastern Conference are playing pretty damn good basketball. Over there, the Knicks are the number 3 seed. So I think they got it right. Right? I think they definitely got it right there. But I can understand what Kendrick Perkins is talking about. Like, maybe they're more deserving guys, but hey, the NBA ain't really looking at it like that. You also have to sell the game, right? You also have to sell the game. The Golden State Warriors aren't really good at their 11th seed, but hey, you got to sell the game. So I get what Kendrick Perkins is saying, but you can't leave those guys out. So I understand it. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comments, and we catch you on the next show. Peace.